such positive trends. That's what we want to see. And I know a lot of kids that are taking those AP tests, so the fact that, we have slightly lower enrollment and we have even more kids taking the test and doing better, I think that's a testament to hopefully how well people are handling things at the high school level with being challenged with their courses. Anybody have any questions or comments for Mr. Haig?
I would just say I'm really encouraged and appreciative of seeing this data on the other side of the pandemic. I mean, a lot of, I think, intentional things have been done the last couple of years aimed at some of these post-pandemic things. And it's nice to see, again, at least trends in the right direction. So the data was gathered, steps were created, and things were done with intentionality to improve some of those. And now we're looking at data on the back end to continue those things and find new areas for us to improve. So I think that's a really good use of the data cycle and a really good example of the process of improving all of those data points.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thank you very much. All right, we are going to move on to our consent grouping. Is there anything that anyone would like to pull out for special consideration? Superintendent Kirby, is there anything you'd like to draw attention to?
Yeah, just as one section in the human resources section, I did want to just bring to your attention on the far right column, we did add a column, and thanks to Christina Neese. It's basically an explanation of why that position needed to be filled, so that you're aware of how the opening came about. So just additional information, nothing for you to do with, but just to know what the history was of that position. So thanks.
Thank you very much. All right, can I please have a motion to approve consent grouping items 5A1 through 5D1?
I second.
Oh, we need a
motion
motion.
first. Sorry.
Start.
There. Turn on first. I motion.
Okay, great. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, let's move into our curriculum report, please. Mrs. Tryon.
Yes, we had a very fast curriculum meeting. I think maybe one of the fastest in my time on the board. I don't know if there's a competition going on for fast committee meetings. But we heard from Kim Van Antwerp, who works in our instruction office, and she did a really nice presentation for us on the professional learning plan that has been developed for the district, for the district's teachers and staff. They have put together this really fantastic just kind of chart that details all of the different PD, professional development offerings for all of the teachers and staff throughout the district month by month, where that learning is going to take place, what learning they can choose from, what's optional, what's mandatory. Is that PD coming from the school itself, or is it being put on at the district level? So that's a fantastic resource for our staff and our teachers in the district. And then just to kind of summarize what the professional learning plan encompasses is it just really wants to get at the district goals. So Mr. Hayes just talked about some of those goals, improving literacy interventions across the district and how the professional learning can accomplish those goals or provide more training for our teachers in that area. The district also really wanted to make sure that all of the different professional learning opportunities were differentiated in approach, that they took into consideration staff feedback about what staff were looking for in professional learning, and that all of those professional learning offerings would incorporate behavioral support in their PD, job-embedded support with their instructional coaches, sharing ideas across grade levels, staff feedback to continue planning additional support, and then also collaboration time was prioritized. So not just like, here's a whole bunch of information, have a good day at school tomorrow, but time to take that information during that learning and collaborate about how they're going to put that into practice. So that was the gist of the instructional highlight for our curriculum meeting. Also to note, I think is important, I know I appreciate this as a parent in the district, just a concerted effort to plan and provide that professional learning on days that are already scheduled to be no students in the building, to kind of limit the amount of subs that we have on a regular basis in and out of our classrooms for that purpose. So that was our instructional highlight, and then also we are being asked tonight to approve the purchase of advanced placement calculus, and that is going to be a 6-year license. It's an updated version to what we already have, and it will also provide 2 hours of training for the staff that will use that resource, and that is going to be used for grades 9 through 12 for, like I said, AP calculus. And then we're also going to review the book Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. And that is going to be a book study at the Flex Academy for grades 9 through 12. And that is really it for curriculum this week.
Terrific, thank you. Any questions for Mrs. Bryan? All right, then we'll head over to Dr. Bashad for finance.
Sure, we had a similarly brief meeting to start the school year, which is nice as of the end of August. In terms of the financials, we're 17% of the way through the fiscal year and 4% into the school year. So we reviewed our monthly financial statements that were in the packet, nothing to draw our attention to, everything tracking for the most part for the first month as expected. We had another great bond construction update, and I'll just hit a couple of highlights. Obviously there's a lot of construction ongoing in different phases in a lot of our buildings. The Aquatic Center continues to move ahead into the schematic budget meeting for the first time phase. So all the plans start to get actually budgeted out and to see where all of those chips fall and what else needs to be redone. So that's progressing. The goal is still to bid all of that work in July of next year, and then start about a year from now, maybe next October is the goal. Northern Hills Middle is still in the early meet and learn type phase, talking with a lot of teachers in that building and users of those spaces. We also created, as we mentioned before, the district has created a bond facilities team, and just so everyone's aware, Dr. Fossen and myself have volunteered to be our representatives on that committee or that group. So we'll meet quarterly. That's just getting underway. And then another exciting update or addition is a new website that looks at the forward-looking progress for the 2023 bond projects. If you're on the website from the main page and you are on the 2023 bond main page, there's already pictures, there's already a lot of updates about the progress already happening, and there is a project schedule link that can be clicked now where you can see the entirety of the plans for the bond for the next 8-10 years. The projected budgets for all of those plans, the sort of timeline or priority list when they're hopeful to embark and finish, and all the information around the various projects. So I think a nice way for people who are interested in looking to see what's coming up next, or when is my school due for renovations or what have you. That stuff is all there. Big thanks to Assistant Superintendent Davis and to Mrs. Brink and many others who put all of that together. And then for our action items, we only have one this month, and it was already discussed. The AP Calculus textbooks are coming from Savas Learning and other resources from Savas Learning for a cost not to exceed $107,000 out of the general fund. And that was all we had.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Dr. Bashad? All right, then let's go with a roll call vote, please.
Dr. Rashad?
Yes.
Ms. Steinmeier?
Yes.
Mrs. Zagor?
Yes.
Ms. Funk?
Yes.
Ms. Covell?
Yes.